Here's a look at your daily market report on this Wednesday, the 13th day of August. At the auction barns around the state today, Springfield Livestock Marketing Center, they're expecting to have about 2,000 head. Green Sea Livestock Auction, it's an off-scheduling week for them, so nothing there. No early listings from Vienna or Farmington today, or Windsor. Vienna did note, however, they were going to have some pretty good quality, even though the run would be a bit lighter this week there. Taking a look at what happened around the auction barns on Tuesday, SEMO livestock sales, very light run, 291 head. Undertones were called lower there, mainly due to quality issues. Kingsville Livestock Auction, they had a bit of a lighter run there due to being very close to the state fair that's going on this week. The steers under 650 pounds, $10 to $20 higher. Over 650 pounds sold mostly steady. F&T Livestock Market in Palmyra, they had 1,129 head. It's been 3 weeks since their last special sale, but the steers and heifers there sold sharply higher, especially on some heavyweight cattle. They set some new barn records yesterday for sure. Lawley Brothers Livestock Market in Macon, they had 1,060 head. Been 2 weeks since their last special, but all the steers and heifers there sharply higher as well. They had some pot loads there that sold of heifers, 637 pounds, called $18 higher. And then a couple of loads of heavy 6-weight heifers were $7 to $11 higher. Ozarks Regional Stockyards in West Plains, they had 2,081 head through the barn. The yearlings called 6 to 12 higher. The steer calves, $15 to $20 higher. Heifer calves, $5 to $10 higher. The market reporter there did make note that condition on the calves was a major factor in pricing, as the short unweaned calves, fleshy or excess hair, still receiving significant discounts. The steers in West Plains, 4 to 5 weights at $442.5 to $500, 5-6 weights at $415 to $442, 6-7 weights at $370 to $425, 7-8 weights at $355 to $370, a load of 852-pound steers at $337.50, and 223 head of 953-pound steers, Ozarks Regional Stockyards, $317.50. The feeder heifers, 4 to 5 weights at $400 to $430. 5-6 weights, $355 to $397.50. 6-7 weights at $338 to $366. Some 7 to 750-pound heifers at $339 to $347.50. Some 8 to 850-pound heifers at $308 to $319. Box beef cutout values continue to climb higher. Choice up 46 cents this morning, $391.04. Select up $328 at $368.92. Those values based on 65 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds, and the Choice Select spread at $22.12. Negotiated feedlot trade so far for the week still pretty light. There has been 2,390 head reported. Nothing reported so far in Texas. Kansas reported 134 head. Not sure exactly what's going on there. They were quoted at 232 live. That would actually be a bit lower than last week. Either those steers weren't the quality that was reported, or someone just didn't understand negotiation, because there's no reason so far this week that any of those markets should be lower. Nebraska reported 1,852 head at 385 dress. That would be even with the top end of last week's trade. Iowa reported 160 head at 245 live, and that would also be even with the top of last week's trade. Taking a look at the futures markets, they have been kind of scattered this morning on the livestock side. Opened up higher following yesterday's very sharp gains. Then at midday, we gave some of it back, tried to climb back, and then gave it back again. Currently, all of the livestock futures are lower for the day. August, 235.50, down 32. October, 55 lower at 228.47. October at 230.20, down 70. Feeder cattle for August, 343.25, down 212. September, 343.85, down 240. October, 343.07, down 206. 107. Lean hogs for August unchanged at 109.55. October at 90.22, down $1.37. December 82.37, down 142. Taking a look at some of the grain news, of course, those grain markets yesterday saw the brunt of the USDA report, especially on the corn side. Production estimates as well as the monthly WSDA report came out. Corn yields were pegged at 188.8 bushels per acre. That was up 9.5 bushels. Production was up 13% for a estimated yield this year of 16.7 billion bushels of corn. In Missouri, the average yield projected to be 191 bushel per acre. That would be 8 bushels more than last year. Other bits of note was not only did they increase the yield nationwide, but they also increased the planted acreage to 97.3 million acres. On the bean side, 53.6 was the national average. That was up 2.9 bushels per acre. Production, however, was down 2% at 4.29 billion bushels. In Missouri, the average yield expected to be 53 bushels even. That would be up about 4 bushels from last year. Taking a look at the futures markets at midday, corn fractionally higher after yesterday's losses following those reports. September corn at 372, December 394 and 3/4, March at 412.5. Soybeans, they're a bit higher. August 1018, September 1018. And November 1038 and 3/4. That's $5 to $6 higher. And of course, those beans on those lower production numbers, they were significantly stronger yesterday. Wheat contracts 1 to 1 3/4 cent lower at midday. September 503 and 3/4. December 524.5. March at 543 1/4. Soybean meal for August 52.85 a hundredweight, down 45 cents at midday. September bean oil up $3.50 a ton at $284.90. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's your farm news. This is Tony Hancock.